Hello everyone, my name is David and today I'm going to record this video named The Paradox of an Infinite Universe. Let's get started. Is the universe infinite? Does it have an edge? If so, what would you see if you went there? Today we know that the universe has the beginning of 14 billion years ago and it has been expanding ever since. But something that's expanding should also have an edge, right? Well, it sort of does. Information can't travel faster than light. That means that we can only see parts of the universe, those whose lights have been reaching us in the past 14 billion years. When we look outwards, we see a sphere centered us, the observable universe. It gets a tad more complicated. We know the universe has always been expanding. We know that most faraway things whose light we can see is actually now 45 billion light years away from us now. So the observable universe is a sphere with a radius of 45 billion light years. It contains about 200 billion galaxies. Each has hundreds of billions of stars. So for us, there is an edge. We're looking for the past until there's no past left. The edge is really more like an edge in time and in the sense of meaningless. The real universe is for sure bigger than we can see, but how much? Well, there are two options. Either the universe is really big but finite, or it's truly infinite. A finite universe means that if you want to fill it with ice cream, you can do it. You just need a lot of ice cream. It's a finite amount. But that leads to a weird problem. Such a universe should have an edge, a cosmic wall where space ends. And if there is something at an edge, there should be something outside of that edge. But the universe should be definition is all there is. So how should be there's stuff out there, all there is? Such the idea of something outside of everything even makes sense. Except of course there's a physics hack. You can have a universe that have no borders still be filled with finite amounts of ice cream. What if the universe is truly finite? Imagine an orange and a really tiny ant. The ant can only see a small piece of the orange, the skin, just as you can only see a small chunk of the universe. But if the ant starts walking, it will eventually walk around the whole orange and be back to the starting point. So the skin of an orange is not infinite, but it does have a border. The universe it's not like the skin of an orange, but it could be similar. Instead of a sphere, it could be a hypersphere, with 3D space curved on its spells, which is impossible for your brain to visualize, unfortunately. But the point is no borders, no outside the hypersphere. From our human ant perspective, our whole 3D space is like a peel of an orange. If you are aboard of a spaceship and flying in a straight line, you will eventually fly back to Earth. How does any of this make sense? The actual physics is hard, so we have to simplify and lie a bit here. But in a nutshell, it all boils down to gravity. The way it works, it's all that mass creates gravity. It's bending by space-time. This bending is the strongest way the mass is. It sort of stretches on forever. There's a very mild tension of fabric space-time itself. This could bend the whole universe in a way that it bends back itself, which makes the hypersphere. If you find this confusing, we're with you. If the universe happens to be a hypersphere, how could we figure out how big is it, or how big Earth is? Scientists try to figure out some sort of universe or event horizon would reveal the scale of the cosmic sphere, but we didn't see anything, which means if the universe is a hypersphere, it needs to be so big that from our perspective, it looks like we're living on a flat surface. To expense, the hyperspherical universe should be at least 1,000 times bigger than our observable part. It could be trillions times bigger than, or for all we know, but not smaller than that. Some scientists thought of this way too straightforward and came up with a wider option. The universe could be a frosting of a donut, a hyper donut. It's also impossible to visualize for your brain. This too means if your travel in a straight line, you'll get back to where you started, but with fun complications. In a donut universe, it's very much same amount of stuff and directions. The two spaceships fly different directions. One could get back the start way earlier. This also means light from far away galaxies would do fun and confusing stuff in a sort of cosmic Hall mirror effect. We could see faraway things in two places, but not just in that. We would see it in different moments in time because its light would have taken much longer to travel in one direction than other. You could see a star being born in front of the skies of you, and see the same star die on the opposite directions of the sky. How big such a hyperdonus about the universe actually is kind of the smallest possible universe, potentially a few times bigger than an observable universe, but it could be also way, way bigger. We don't know. Okay, so much for a finite universe, but what if the universe is truly infinite and space goes on forever? What would that be like? What if the universe is truly infinite? Actually, the most cosmological model used by most scientists describe the infinite universe. We mostly use it to calculate what happens in our observable chunk. But if taken literally, it predicts the infinite universe. An infinite universe goes on forever with no border anywhere. Also, impossible to visualize. Wherever you look for, you find more stuff in every possible direction. This kind of breaks our brain a bit for a few reasons. First of all, if the universe is infinite, it is also eternal as been there forever. Was there a time when there's nothing everywhere and there was something everywhere? Well, we don't know, but we have a lot of evidence for the Big Bang. So it really seems like the universe started some point in the past. But wait, since the Big Bang, the universe has been expanding. How can an infinite thing that is everywhere become even bigger? Cosmic expansion just means that the distance between galaxies growing in time. Even in infinite space can become bigger. Welcome to the paradox of infinity. Infinity gets much weirder though, as you travel with your spaceship in a straight line. You'll find new galaxies, stars, and planets, new wonders, new weird stuff, probably new aliens and new life forms, strangers than you might even imagine. But after a long time, you might find the most special thing in the universe, yourself. An exact copy of you watching this video right now. How can that be? Well, everything in existence is made of a finite amount of different particles. And a finite number in different particles can only be combined in finite numbers of ways. That number may be so big that it feels like infinity to our brains, but it's not really. If you have infinite options to build things, but infinite space that is full of things in directions forever, then it makes sense by pure chance there will likely be repetition. Although, just because something is possible doesn't mean it will actually happen. Maybe the universe will go on forever, but only the boring stuff repeats itself endlessly. Maybe there's only really one you. But if the laws of physics are the same place everywhere, then far away gas could have given birth to stars and planets, ending up in cells and animals that evolved in really unlikely ways, and eventually apes have learned how to create online videos. It happened at least once, so the chance is not zero. Even if the chance of being an exact copy of you watching this video right now is almost zero. Almost zero is still a huge number in the infinite universe. Unfortunately, you will never meet because it's mostly zero means the chance is incredibly small. Earth as it exists right now is so unlikely. You have to travel incredibly far to find a second identical Earth, some to 10 to the 10. Some to the 10 to the power of 10 to the power of 29 means a 1 followed in 100 octillion zeros times the size of the observable universe, so it kind of means forever far away. Still, a truly infinite universe, every combination of particles could reasonably not just enter the science field here. Currently, none of these ideas are testable or provable. The universe is infinite, we will never know. The reality is, for us, the universe is finite and has an edge. We can see the edge. At the edge in time, everything we can interact within the most observable universe, and most likely this would stay true forever. Even this infinite universe feels small to us. To you, it's small, big enough to fulfill all the dreams that we and descendants can ever come up with, infinitely enough for all of us. So that's the end of the video. Thank you for listening. Goodbye.